We here at Two Tenderfoot Tourists would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a spectacular New Year.
We wish you safe travel, good food, and time with the ones you love.
Don't be a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
Always remember,
Never forget.
stay tender.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy, and we're Two Tenderfoot Tourists. Welcome to episode 70, the one about the best of Two Tenderfoot Tourists, 2018.
Hey, Sandy.
Yes, Steve.
I had a great idea. Oh, actually, I think we had a good idea.
I think we have great ideas together.
Our great idea is to, based upon all the downloads we've had this year, we were going to bring to our listeners the best.
Right. And, I mean, what a better way to wrap... What a better way? Is that right? What better way to wrap up another year?
I agree. Exactly. So that being said, we decided to bring you the top 3 episodes of 2018.
Right, and I'm really excited about it because we get to start with the third favorite.
That's right. It came in 3rd place.
And it's a podcast potluck.
Oh, I know, right? And of ironies, it's Gluttonous Thirds.
Yeah. Good timing for the holidays, baby.
We all know that. Okay, so my waistline proves it. I can see why people have a great interest in this episode. Because, I mean, in this episode, basically, if you're someone who is ever interested in coming into the Southwest Missouri, the Branson, Missouri area, we kind of jump around all over the place and experience different things in this episode, and we bring it to everyone out there. Starting off with Dogwood Canyon, the nature park, or was it a nature park? Yeah, nature park.
Dogwood Canyon Nature Park.
It was built by Johnny Morris. He's the president, founder, and all that of Bass Pro. He built this place, and it's a natural preserve. Anyway, we talked about our interest and disappointment in the place.
Right, and the fact that we were also encouraged.
Oh,
but
and also
you'll have
encouraged.
to listen to find out more.
Definitely.
And of course, what do we always talk about on our podcast? We also talked about food. We went to visit Dana's Barbecue. The service was unique. We will talk about the types of foods we ate and if we enjoyed it or not.
And there's something very special about this particular episode because of the fact it's the first time that we ever used, and we talk about Table Rock Lake and a 360 camera.
Right. And it's, to say the least, entertaining.
Mm-hmm. So that, and what else did we talk about? Oh,
our discovery of that website. What was it called again?
onlyinyourstate.com.
Yes. And with the fact that we like to do those podcasts specifically focused on states, we're kind of pumped about this.
It was really interesting because we actually, there's hundreds and hundreds of things on that particular website, and we discuss about just 4 out of the many in just Missouri alone.
Right.
So you have to listen. I can see why people would like that. And then, of course, sleep apnea.
Right. Vacationing with sleep apnea. About the challenges, about adapting.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth tuning in if you found that you have sleep apnea.
Okay, so with that being said, let's present to them the 3rd most popular episode. All right.
Podcast Potluck Gluttonous Thirds. I had insomnia last night.
Yeah.
So I get up in the middle of the night. I'm sitting in the other room watching TV on my tablet, and I thought, we ought to just get in the car when he wakes up and just go. And so I got an hour more sleep when I came back in there, got you up, and we decided to just go. Now, actually, we didn't just go. We contacted Kyle and Alyssa, said, what you doing?
What you doing? So, let's start with our road trip this morning. You know, this kind of reminds me, it wasn't until after we got up and around and started walking around, I started reminiscing of when our kids were little. And we used to just let's go to St. Louis. Okay.
That. And we just put them in the car. We'd throw some stuff in the bag and head out the door.
I mean, our options were limited with the kids, but not nearly as much as...
No, a dog limits you a lot more. And we found that out, which, we were ready for that.
Yeah.
We knew.
Yeah.
We took a Ziploc bag full of dog food. We took bottled waters, like I said, and that bowl. We thought pretty much prepared for everything, and we kind of did. It wasn't bad. It truly did limit us, though, because there were times we were like, I kind of like to go in there. And we were like, oh, wait, Marco would have to stay out. We can't do that.
Right, exactly. Kind of reminds me, it's at Colorado Springs from what I saw that I don't know, was it a video that I saw? They said that it is the most pet-friendly place in Colorado.
I think it's
the
most dog-friendly.
Dog-friendly.
Yes.
Place in the Colorado or the world. I don't know about the world, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It may be the country.
The country?
I want to say the country, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so Sandy thought, hey, let's get up, let's do this, let's go out. We called our kids.
Yeah, our son and his lovely wife.
Yes, our daughter-in-law. And we ended up going, we didn't know. I was looking around all over the internet trying to find something to do.
From the moment we got up. I mean, you got dressed and then you were online the whole time while I'm throwing stuff in that backpack. And
every time I went in, it's like, okay, does it allow for pets? No. Does it allow for pets?
Surprised.
No. There was even places over on Table Rock Lake that said pets aren't allowed.
Yeah, certain beaches.
Certain beaches, you're not allowed to have pets. And I'm like, okay, that's weird.
It is. It's an outdoors thing. I would have thought they would have all been okay with it. Silver Dollar City.
Yeah, Silver Dollar City
does not allow unless it is a service animal.
Yeah, exactly. So our options were really limited. Now, I did find this place called Dogwood Canyon. And it's towards the state line of Arkansas and Missouri. You go south past Branson West, and then keep on going through Kimberling City and just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Now, I want to say for a just road trip, that drive was gorgeous.
Right.
I looked across there and I saw the Ozark Hills and I thought, reminds me of my mountains in Colorado from a distance.
Kind of has that flavor, doesn't it?
Yeah. It made me long for it.
Yeah.
And of course we got in a big discussion with the kids about different things about it because they're going to go in, I think, September to Colorado with Alyssa's family.
Right.
So that's really exciting.
It is exciting. I can't wait to see the pictures and what Kyle thinks because Alyssa's been there. Kyle has never been there, so this is going to be exciting for us.
Yes, and he was bragging today. I just think Missouri is one of the most beautiful places to live.
It is a beautiful state.
I can't imagine anything so beautiful.
But wait till you see Colorado.
Dude, we love Missouri, but wait till you see those mountains.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, we got down there and I found this place called, did I already mention Dogwood Canyon?
Right.
Dogwood Canyon, see if this name sounds familiar, Johnny Morris.
The owner of Bass Pro.
And he had bought 10,000 acres down there, right? And it's nothing but like nature walk and stuff like that. It's got a trail. It's 6.5 miles long and it goes into Arkansas and it comes back again and it's paved and they have available for you horseback riding, segways, bikes. What else is there? Am I missing something?
There's some kind of tram you can ride
some sort of
if you don't want to walk it.
If you don't want to walk it. And they have like waterfalls and animals and all this other stuff out there that you can just walk past and you see all that. They even have like a nature museum, if you will.
Right. And you had looked online before we ever got there, and you're like, okay, I think this is a great idea. It's $10 a person.
And Marco was $4.
Yeah, they charge $4 for dogs, which I thought was hilarious.
Right.
But we're thinking, okay.
Sure, no problem.
$24 for the two of us and our dog, and then the kids each pay $10 each. That's not bad, and we all agreed that we wanted to go do it.
Exactly. And online it said that all these other things are extra, like the horseback riding, bicycles, things like that, the tram.
Yeah, all extra.
All those things are extra. But it was the wording was a little confusing for us, was it not?
Well, I never saw it online.
Oh, it was for me.
You just told me, and I trust you always.
But even the sign outside the ticket booth before we went in was little. That's what I was seeing.
It was confusing, and the people in line. Okay, first of all, we get there, and there's a long line to get in this place.
Right.
And we're like, okay, no big deal. So we stood in line for probably a good 20 minutes before we got up there close enough. And I hear the people in front of me talking, and a woman is going, "Wait a minute, is that $10 for the trail and $10 that you have to pay to get into this building?"
Right.
And
which, by the way, the building was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's huge. There's lots to see in there, and there's a restaurant, which I also think it's funny that you pay to get into the restaurant and then pay to eat at the restaurant, but that's beside the point. Long story short, as we always like to say, even though we've made it really long.
Yeah.
You paid $20 a head.
Yeah, essentially what it comes down to.
You didn't have a choice. The only way it would be cheaper is if you don't go on the trail.
Exactly.
And the whole point of us being there was to go on the trail.
Yeah, we wanted to go on the trail.
So we're like, you're kidding me. Can you at least just point us toward the bathroom? Because we're not paying $20 a person.
No.
And we've been waiting in line 20 minutes, so we need a bathroom. They told us the only bathroom was inside.
The one that you have to pay $10 to get into.
So she told us one person at a time could go over to the restaurant and use the bathroom.
Right.
As long as we came right back out.
Well, you know what? I appreciate the fact that they even allowed us to do that.
I did too. It was frustrating though.
It was a little frustrating. Now, you didn't go in there.
No, Alyssa and I, neither one went. We didn't want to take up more time because one person at a time going that distance, because it was quite a little jaunt to get into the building.
It was.
We didn't want to do that.
Well, our son Kyle and we had to go to the bathroom, and we're getting ready. I don't know how much further we were going to drive anyway. For all I knew, in my head, I was thinking, let's just drive around the back roads, because sometimes you run across some very interesting things. So Kyle went inside. God bless him. He ended up taking a whole bunch of pictures while he was in there.
Yeah, I bet they love that.
Which, by the way, the restroom was not easy to find in there. You had to go in through this door, which, by the way, was really, really cool.
It starts like, darn.
I'll show you a video of it.
You had to look around for it?
Yeah.
That's sad.
And you had to hang a right, and you go through all these display cases, which, by the way, one of the display cases was the bones of a moose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of it. It's great. In fact, I'm planning on putting that online.
Oh, cool.
On our Facebook and also our YouTube channel. But anyway, so you had to walk past that. You had to go through the restaurant like you're going to head back outside and through another door towards the back, and then you hang a right again, and there's the restrooms.
Good grief.
I mean, that's like, okay. They were in the back there. So, one, I'm kind of glad she said, yeah, go ahead and use the bathroom only one person at a time, and I'm glad it was at the back of the building, because that gave me opportunity to go in really deep, check it out, and then be able to come back out again. Is that bad?
So, after doing that, would you like to go back, the two of us, and go ahead and spend the money?
If it was just us, yes. If it was just us,
no, Marco.
No Marco.
Because we couldn't go in the building. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
They wanted us to pay $20 a head and $4 for the dog, but the dog wasn't allowed in the building, so somebody was going to stand outside the dog the whole time while everybody else went and looked inside.
Right.
It just was insane.
Yeah, it wasn't really, it wasn't fair for the, pet owners. Right. They wanted to just walk the trail. But at the same time, I think everybody who's listening to us are going like, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And then there are probably some that's like, just pay the $40 and go in.
Yeah, that gets expensive.
It gets really expensive.
And we still hadn't eaten lunch yet at this point. So then you're talking about adding that on top of the other expense.
Now, I put it on, yeah, that's true. I put on Facebook, has anybody ever been to Dogwood Canyon, is what I wrote.
Right.
So what can you tell me about it? Everybody says the place is beautiful, but a little expensive.
Right. And I think most of them also said it was even worth the money, even though it's expensive. So, I mean, we're not saying don't go. Right.
No, that's not what we're saying at all.
It might totally be worth it to you. We just were a little put out by the confusion that they did not make things clear, and that we weren't expecting to pay that much, and that we couldn't even use a bathroom hardly.
Well, Karen even talked about the fact that it was expensive for a family of 5.
Right. Be really hard on them.
And she said that the restaurant is really, really good, and the servings are really, really big, so you can share. So it does cost, it does save you a little money in that area.
Right.
A little bit. But
depending on how much they charge you in the restaurant.
Exactly. Karen said, ask them for the menu first and look around before you actually decide to commit to eating there. And then Dan, he said that, I suggest walking and bringing your camera and planning on at least 3 to 4 hours. And then also make sure that you bring a blanket along, because gives you something to sit on alongside the road and have some water and maybe a little bit to eat, and then continue on down the road. You know what? We're just going to have to go back down there.
Yeah, we'll have to go down. So, minus the Marco, unfortunately.
Minus the Marco. Okay, so what else did we talk? What else were we going to talk about in this episode?
Well, after we left there, we did some driving, which again, the scenery was gorgeous, going back the other way even, and our whole point was to get out there on a road trip, so we decided we're hungry.
Yeah, you mentioned this that we couldn't stay there very long anyway because we were getting hungry, and we ended up going to, and this is a really good place. Did you like the place that we ate?
I did like it. I thought it was good. But we went to Dana's Barbecue.
Yeah, it was in Branson West.
Right.
And
we had wanted to try it before, but we had went on a Sunday and they were closed.
Correct. I think it's Christian owned.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
started
think
saying,
it
I
is.
can't remember. All I know is that we had to go somewhere that Marco could be, or we had to go fast food.
Right.
And we didn't want to do fast food, and they had some outdoor tables.
And that's what we decided to do.
Right. We checked with them ahead of time, and they said it was fine as long as he stayed outside. So we ordered our food, and while somebody was always outside with him, and then everybody ate together outside.
Right.
And it was really a nice area.
It is. The interior. It's clean. The service is interesting because
they're kids.
There are a lot of kids that are doing the serving.
It has almost, what type of look would you say to the building? I mean, I can't even think of how to describe it.
Well, the interior, it's open. That's for one. It's got a concrete floor and it's got all this open bare wood all over the place in the ceiling.
Well, what I was talking about
is
is his actual appearance, because like we've been to a Dana's barbecue in Branson.
Yes, there's two of them if you're in Branson, just to let you know.
It's very plain and, I mean, just a flat looking building. I mean, and you go in there and picnic tables, wasn't it?
Yes.
I was thinking it was picnic tables.
The one in
Branson.
In Branson, yeah, the one in Branson off the 76 is picnic tables.
And when we went there, that's been a couple years, but they had kids doing all the serving too.
Right.
And I mean, I'm talking kids.
Right.
I'm not talking 16. I think younger.
Yeah, yeah.
And they did a great job. They worked hard.
Very professional.
Yep, very.
And the food that we ate was, because it's Dana's barbecue, of course you can have barbecue. You had a chicken
some kind
sandwich.
of Italian chicken sandwich, I believe.
Yes.
And it was on ciabatta. And it was such good bread. It was amazing.
It was really good.
I gave Alyssa a bite and she did her little happy dance.
And what'd she say? I think I could just eat the bread by itself.
Yep, that's what she did.
And then I had a Carolina, which was a pulled pork, barbecue pulled pork, and
coleslaw
on it, and a heap of fries next to it.
Oh, by the way, their fries are really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Kyle had some kind of a fish sandwich, I think.
He had a catfish sandwich.
Yeah, and then Alyssa was just a pulled pork or something.
Yeah, it was just a pulled pork sandwich.
And
barbecue pulled pork.
I think everybody was happy with what they got.
Yeah, the portions were good.
They were. We actually got full,
up.
and we fed the rest of our fries to Marco.
Well, I even fed Marco
part of your sandwich.
Yeah, like at least 2 bites.
Yeah, I fed him some of mine too. He liked the bread.
Yeah. So, Dana's barbecue. If you're ever in Branson or in Branson West, we highly recommend the place, don't you?
Both places were very good. Yes.
Yes. So, Dana's barbecue. That was a bite size, right?
Yes.
Little info.
Well, and we were recharged at that point, and we're like, okay, we still want to do something. So we decided we would go down to Table Rock Lake.
Okay, so this was our opportunity. Now, we dropped the bell.
We dropped the bell.
We dropped the ball with the 360 camera at Pikes Peak, anywhere in Colorado. I kept on forgetting it.
Yep. We were so mad at ourselves because we forgot to use it.
It would have been an excellent, well, you know what?
On Pikes Peak it would have been perfect.
Oh, it would have been gorgeous. So, I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to take it down there to Table Rock.
Right.
We decided to go to Table Rock. And we've talked about Table Rock on the podcast before.
Yeah, I grew up going down there, and I love that lake. I think it's beautiful.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of development that's happened. There's a lot of hotels and stuff down there now right on the water, which makes me kind of sad. But it's a beautiful lake.
I can see why it has such draw to people, because I mean, we went over the dam, and then we have, what is that?
We pulled into the parking lot for the visitor center.
The visitor center, right. It's the U.S. Engineers.
Corps of Engineers.
Corps of Engineers, yeah. Thank you.
The Corps of Engineers, whatever you call it.
They have a visitor center over there.
It's really nice too.
And it is really big, and it sits right there on the lake, and you can go visit it. But they also have a trail that walks around the lake. It goes down to Branson Bell. Right.
And there are like some of these, just a heads up for you people that prefer to have a real bathroom compared to a camping bathroom or a porta potty. They have these 2 bathrooms just going onto the trail that are more like what you'd have at a campgrounds. And then inside the visitor center, they have, inside the building, the nice new building, they have nice bathrooms.
Right.
So there you are in case you need that.
Yeah.
But we decided to go for a walk down that trail
Yeah. And
it's so shaded and
there's
nice.
several different trails. The one we was like a half a mile because it just went half a mile from that parking lot. It gets you down to the Branson Bell Showboat.
You got it.
Showboat
Woo.
Branson Bell. But anyway, you can get down to there and see that and then make your way back to the parking lot if you want to.
And I mean, there's little offshoots where you can just walk down to the shore.
Right.
And that's what we did. After we got down in there a little ways, we decided we'd go down to the shoreline. And it's unlike our Orange Beach, which is white sands. Here in Missouri, you go down to the lake, it's rock.
Right.
But it's so beautiful.
And limbs.
Yes, old dead wood. It's so
Yeah.
gorgeous. You know, I forget how beautiful it is.
I know.
I'm
It's
in
easy to
love with
forget,
my
though,
beach in
isn't it?
Alabama, and I forget how beautiful the lake is 45 minutes from us.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It doesn't seem fair, does it?
No.
So I found this as an opportunity to use my 360 camera.
Right. And I mean, there's big rocks, there's little rocks, so there was a perfect opportunity to be able to set it up. You and I are having issues.
I know.
But to be able to set it out on a rock so that it could do just its level
It was
picture.
a perfect rock. I think people have actually put those out there to sit on them while looking at.
They
Would it
might
shock
have
you?
some of them might be, but I think the water does that too.
But anyway, so I put one up there and I filmed probably 3 or 4 minutes, maybe tops. Kyle got goofy with it. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to put that on the YouTube channel or not. But anyway.
I think it's great. I would.
I think it's hilarious, but I don't know if anybody would find it as funny as we do.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, and it was really fun because we have probably the only lab in existence that hates water.
Right.
Granted, he's part Shar-Pei, and that may be the problem, but he's literally afraid of water, and he's afraid of a lot of things. But anyway,
that is really the weirdest one, though.
The whole time he's doing the 360 camera, we're over there and we're talking to him and coaxing him, and we got him to actually step down in the water a little bit. It was great, and he got
all 4 paws
yeah, he
in
stood
there.
with all 4 paws, and I could not believe it, especially since he's getting splashed with little waves coming in. But that was a huge deal.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can keep getting him closer and closer because dogs should love water.
They should.
Labs should love water.
Yeah, but not Shar-Peis don't. Dogs in general should love water.
Yeah.
I know he'd be a good swimmer. Did you see his paws?
I know, they're huge and they're webbed.
And they're webbed.
Yeah. But anyway, he had his nice little experience, and then he got to sniff a few dogs on the way out.
It was kind of funny because it's like he was drinking the water. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And the wave would come in, and he'd wait for that wave to come back in, and then the wave would go back out, and he'd start drinking again, and that wave come back in
and
again.
He'd pick up his head again. And then what was really funny is when the waves would get really crazy, he'd stand there and bark at it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was hilarious. It's
It
like
was
he was
pretty
saying,
funny.
"Stop it!" but yeah, he had his adventure, and we were able to spend a lot of time with him instead of leaving him at home, and that was kind of nice. And got to spend time with Alyssa and Kyle, so it was a good time.
It was a good time. I liked it.
And then we drove home.
And we cried all the way home. Okay, so we went to. Well, so this is an interesting Potluck podcast, is it not?
Yeah.
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 We were talking about the road trip, right?
Right.
And I was struggling really hard trying to find something online that we could do that could possibly, that we could do with a dog.
Right. That we could enjoy and still have the dog with us.
And we also had a time frame in which we wanted to do this too. We didn't want to like spend 10 or 15 hours driving around.
Right. As it is, it's like 9:30 at night. We're doing our podcast. We didn't want to get back at 11:30 or something. We wanted to make sure we were back at a decent hour.
Right. So I wish I remembered. I remember going to this website once before. And the website?
Your website.
The website that I'm talking about is Only in Your State. And I forgot
That's the name
all
of it?
about it. Yeah, onlyinyourstate.com.
Okay, cool.
And this website is amazing. The homepage, when you first go to it, it actually has at the bottom, like in a Pinterest sort of way, the list of all the different states you could go to or visit, and it has all this information about one state in particular. And I mean, even like for instance, we looked at Missouri.
Right.
Missouri facts. What is the capital of Missouri?
Jeff City.
Yeah, Jefferson City, right. Exactly. Its nickname, the Show Me State. What's the state bird?
Bluebird.
Ha!
Thought I was going to say Blue Jay, didn't you?
No. Hey, you know what? We discussed this while we were at Colorado, and we talked about the elevation. Do you remember what the elevation is?
No.
No, go ahead.
I don't know.
I thought it was 1,600. It's actually 1,700 feet. 1,772. 1,772 feet. Do you know what the flower of Missouri is?
Dogwood.
Nope.
No, that's a tree.
Yeah. The flower.
I
didn't know this. I didn't know this.
I don't remember.
White hawthorn blossom.
I did know that. I just didn't remember the name of it.
I remember this, but I forgot it. The song for Missouri. The state song.
I'll just say Missouri Waltz, because...
Boom!
Yeah, I thought so.
Boom! Oh, man. That's so attractive. Okay, so... counties. This I didn't know. How many counties are there in Missouri?
Oh, I don't have a clue. 25.
No. 114.
Now the question is, why would I care?
Exactly. Well, did you know that Missouri has a state animal? What do you think?
But I would say it should be a white-tailed deer. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
But what is it?
Mule.
Oh, I knew that.
Did you?
I lied. I knew that.
Did you? I have never heard that.
People say the Missouri mule?
No.
Yeah, mule. I knew that.
Anyway, so...
And we're stubborn.
It even has an instrument.
That I do not know.
A fiddle. But it kind of makes sense,
fitting.
doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fitting.
I thought it was going to be a banjo.
I figured it'd be something weird like a bassoon.
A bassoon. I just like saying bassoon. Bassoon. But anyway, back to onlyinyourstate.com. I wish I would have remembered this website.
That would have helped us.
Yeah, because they have they have it sorted out between life and attractions, and they have these little articles of things that there are to see and do in Missouri. Listen, let me see if I can run through just a couple here. It says, follow this abandoned railroad trail for one of the most unique hikes in Missouri. I wonder if it's called, it's the Katy Trail. It is. Hey, I got that right. The Katy Trail is just over 237 miles long and follows the Missouri River across the entire state. That's the Katy Trail. And
very cool. And
it tells you about it. See, and they even give you pictures. I like pictures.
That's pretty. I like Missouri's so green. You know, we were talking about that when we were driving this morning, about the fact that we forgot. So many times we forget how beautiful Missouri is.
I know.
I mean, Missouri's very green.
It is very, very green.
And then in the fall, if the weather's good, if it's not too dry of a season, the fall colors are amazing.
Oh, I agree.
Come check us out.
Come check us out. This article, how about this? This was posted July of this year. It says the Magical Wizard of Oz themed festival in Missouri you don't want to miss.
Well, what?
Did you know there was that here? It's a small town summer festival.
Yes.
Maybe you did.
I did.
Wow.
I know things.
It's in New London. Oh, I passed through New London.
Yes, you've talked about New London.
It's just outside of Hannibal.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way the article reads. As small town summer festivals may be the best part about living in the Midwest. Here in Missouri, there are hundreds of fun events happening in our smallest towns this summer. One such event that you don't want to miss is the Wizard of Oz Days in New London, Missouri. The magical 2-day festival brings the land of Oz to your backyard for tons of family fun.
You sound like you're singing it. To your backyard.
To your backyard. Okay, so
we shouldn't do that.
No, we should never do that. New London, Missouri is a sleepy little town with a population of less than 1,000. However, come late August and towns transform into the land of Oz. Dorothy and the gang arrive in New London for the Wizard of Oz Days on August 25th and 26th. See, they even give you dates.
See, that would be a lot of fun.
And then you have actors out there dressed up. They even have a picture of it. See, they look pretty good, don't they?
That's pretty fun.
So, I mean, if Wizard of Oz is your bag, they have pages and pages of these different things.
And what's it called again?
Only in Your State.
I remember now. Onlyinyourstate.com, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, they have all kinds of, the clearest river in Missouri is almost too beautiful to be real. 10 lesser known state parks in Missouri that will absolutely amaze you. They even have, most people don't know this Missouri Zoo and Adventure Park even exists. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Well, that's definitely a site you need to be saving, Buster.
How about this one? This is, how about you read it?
The Missouri Steakhouse in the middle of nowhere that's one of the best on earth.
Yeah. They got pictures of it. Oh, look, it's just it's a home.
Okay, that's cute.
It's someone's home.
Cute. I want to go there.
What is it called? Let me see. I'm going to give them props here. Tucked away in a rural, historic mid-Missouri town is a tiny steakhouse that you'll have to get a table at. Your dining experience will only be improved by visiting the beautiful town as you drive in Arrow Rock. I know where that's at. It's one of the oldest established communities in the state. So take a nice long drive back. Take a nice long drive back. Oh gosh. Why is that so difficult for me to say? I'm trying to get the name of it. Oh, here's the name of it.
Catalpa?
Catalpa. I bet that's what it is. Catalpa was named the best restaurant by Feast magazine in 2015. Here, why don't you read?
Tucked away in a rural, historic mid-Missouri town is a tiny steakhouse that you just have to get a table at. Your dining experience will only be improved by visiting the beautiful town as you drive in. Arrow Rock is one of the oldest established communities in the state. So take a nice long drive because you've got to try this little steakhouse in Arrow Rock. This adorable little red house is actually home to one of the best restaurants in Missouri. Catalpa was named the best restaurant by Feast magazine in 2015. Once you dine here, you'll understand why.
Interesting, huh? And it's a tiny little red home.
Yeah, it's tiny. I'd say you probably have to have reservations.
You would think maybe. I mean, I like these people sitting around the tables and stuff. They're all awfully very happy, aren't they? Awfully very? Can I say awfully very?
No.
No? They're very happy, aren't they?
They look awfully happy.
They look awfully happy.
There you go.
Very awfully.
They're very awfully happy.
Yes. But anyway.
Long story short, great app. It's showing us a lot of what we can do next time we decide to wake up and go on a road trip.
Yeah. I'm liking it. Oh, yeah, it is. There you go. Catalpa.
Very cool. I like the name.
I do too.
And the fact that it's a steakhouse makes me want to go there.
Two Tenderfoot Tourists podcast is sponsored by Insurers of America.
Insurers of America is committed to being at the forefront of technology and providing the best possible customer experience in the insurance industry. Regardless of how big, small, unique, or specific your insurance needs, Insurers of America has a policy for you and tops it all off with exceptional personalized care. They enjoy giving you the peace of mind that comes with knowing your insurance agency can help you. Become a part of a family at Insurers of America today.
Also sponsored by Classic Rock Coffee Company is locally owned and started right here in Southwest Missouri.
Don't let the name fool you. You don't have to like rock and roll to enjoy Classic Rock Coffee Company. But it couldn't hurt. Regardless of your favorite pick-me-up, Classic Rock Coffee Company has got you covered. Traditional drinks, flavored drinks, protein shakes, hot teas, and smoothies. Are you hungry? They've got great coffee and a great menu. Yes, they serve food too. That even includes keto. There are so many drinks to choose from. What are our favorites? Well, for me, anything chai. My absolute favorite is the cheesecake chai tea frappe.
And mine is a toss-up between two frappes. The mocha coca and the sweet emotion made with chocolate and caramel are both off the hook. Classic Rock Coffee Company is located at 1230 U.S. Highway 60 in Republic, Missouri.
Let them know the Two Tenderfoot Tourists sent you and get a special discount. And now, back to the podcast.
Oh, come on in. This one mine?
No.
Oh, this one mine?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him out. Marco, sit. Marco, sit.
Did you get me one too, you cutie?
Which one's hers? This one?
No. What is this? Is it a chai tea latte?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a...
Vanilla chai tea latte.
What goes with what?
Black one.
Hey, try it frappe. I'm telling you, I've never had chai so good. It was amazing.
Marco.
Are you taking it with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, so This onlyinyourstate.com.
Yeah, I definitely want to look into that some more.
That is an amazing website.
You know what? I might go in right now while we're talking and put it on my history so that I can go look at it when I want to plan something. Maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Surprise you and say, "Here's what we're doing."
Well, if you go into the menus, also they have like in alphabetical order certain cities, major metropolitan areas as you can look up there, and like if you wanted to like break it down to a city instead of just a state, you can do that. Like I can look at like Albuquerque. It's an A, and it'll show you all the things written about this particular city, which it says 10 interesting things you probably didn't know about the city of Albuquerque, such as Route 66 goes through.
Is that what it looks like? Did I get the right thing?
Boom, got it.
Okay, I'm saving this sucker.
So anyway, yeah, save that and then, have some fun. And hey guys, if you see something on there you think that we might like, shoot us an email at tenderfoottourists@gmail.com or find us on Facebook. Let us know what you find on there too. You know what? It may be something that we might want to put on our bucket list. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So, just now our daughter brought in to us, a couple of drinks.
Yeah, that was so sweet. That sounds bad.
Or
at least it sounds...
I meant it too, yeah.
A little something. Yeah, she brought us a little surprise.
So, just recently in our town, there is a place called Classic Rock Coffee Company.
Right, and it is a chain, but we have never tried it before.
And, wow.
Yeah, and I don't like coffee.
No, I love coffee.
So I'm determined that I'm going to try every drink you guys get and see if I like any of these coffee. Okay, that's really gross, man.
Could you pick
yeah, I can
it up?
Hear you.
I'm going to do that again.
I can hear you swallow. But
anybody grossed out about that? Write us at Tenderfoot Tourists. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, last time you got what? Not this time, but last time.
Last time I got a Coca
Mocha.
Coca Mocha. That's what it was.
And that was called?
That's what a Coca Mocha.
Coca Mocha.
And I had it in a frappe.
Yes.
Yes. The icy.
And frappe. I got, the last time, I got a vanilla chai tea frappe.
Yes.
And it was amazing. I have never tasted chai that tasted so good. Oh, that's not good. Okay,
so I wanted to have a pool of it and dive into it. It was so delicious. Those people there were they made an amazing drink.
So when we left there, we got out in our car, and not that this is a big deal, but this is fun. Talk about what we like to do. We got out in our car, decided we'd go and get our daughter one, because our daughter's really into coffees too. And we got her...
Sweet Emotion.
Yes, Sweet Emotion. And it had caramel and chocolate, right?
Yeah.
And she absolutely loved hers too. Well, then she went there with her friend tonight, and she came back with, what's yours? A dirty white boy? Yes, Steve's is called a dirty white boy.
Okay. Okay, so before we receive a lot of negative feedback on that, that is what it's really called. It's a white chocolate latte.
Yeah, there's other stuff in it too, but they named it a dirty white boy.
They called it a dirty white boy.
They're naming their drinks after different songs, correct?
Right. Play the funky music, white boy.
Now mine's unique because you asked for it, but she brought me back a vanilla chai tea latte,
which is delicious.
On ice, and it's so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
The thing is, I'm sure this is not on my diet.
Oh, it is. It is on your diet right now, baby. It's on your diet.
I would say I'd hook up an IV, but no, it has to go over these lips.
Oh my goodness. It must.
Okay, we got to get on track. That was a distraction that was not safe.
Can't help it.
All right. Now we need to talk about something else. You recently have found that you have sleep apnea.
Right.
So we have a life change going on, especially with travel, and you travel all the time, and that is you having a CPAP machine.
Right. Let me just start with a definition of what exactly sleep apnea. You want to try mine?
I kind of do, but I'm afraid it tastes too coffee.
Go ahead. You know what? It tastes more like dark chocolate to me.
That's not terrible. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's always the aftertaste.
There it is. It's that aftertaste.
Okay, so yeah, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea and potentially serious sleeping disorder in which breathing repeatedly stops and starts while you know.
And I mean, what kills me is when they diagnosed you, when they tested you, they found that you were having like more than 50.
No, 60.
Oh, more than 60 episodes an hour.
Yeah, where I stopped breathing.
No wonder you were exhausted.
So, if you go back to our episodes, this is a good way to tell you, like, listen to how I'm talking right now. I sound like I'm, coherent.
Yes.
Okay, if you listen to the ones we did before, I sounded like this.
Yeah, you sounded really tired.
It's not that I wasn't enthusiastic about doing this. It's just because of the fact that I went months and months and months of not sleeping properly. And I was forgetting things a lot. I was getting
grumpy. Oh my goodness.
Super. In fact, what led to it is the shake that I have in my right arm.
Right.
It all started, I go, okay, this has got to be connected because I felt like I was having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, with all of it going together.
With all of it going together, my right hand and arm shakes. And
that was new. It was new at the same time that you were so exhausted.
Exactly. And I was sleeping I'd stop at an intersection. I felt tired and I wake up after what I thought was a full night's sleep and I'd still be dragging my feet.
Yep.
I was gaining weight like crazy.
You looked like you were on drugs. Because your eyes were all red around the edges. You looked like they were like heavy. You looked confused. You shuffled your feet.
And it really had you concerned because of the fact that after doing some research that this can lead to like heart conditions like cardiac arrest.
Yeah. It's nothing to play with.
No, exactly. And statistically says it's estimated that 12 million American adults have obstructive sleep apnea, and many of them are going undiagnosed. And this is research done by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, the NHLBI. Right now, per year, more than 200,000 U.S. cases per year are being noticed. But it can be treated with a CPAP machine, a continuous positive airway pressure. That's what the machine does. Right. If anybody out there is finding themselves like the same things that are going on with me, where you're just constantly sluggish and you feel just exhausted all the time and you're not sleeping, you're snoring hard and everything like that, get yourself checked just to have that peace of mind, because this sort of thing can actually lead to death. Eventually it leads to death. So anyway, so your insurance will cover, our insurance only covered just the one that's at home and not a second one for traveling.
Right.
That's what bummed me out.
Right. So we're going to have to save for that one.
We have to save for the smaller portable one so that I'm not taking the big one, if you will, compared to the smaller one, because the smaller one is like no bigger than your phone.
It would fit in a average size woman's purse.
Yeah, it would.
It would be very, very convenient.
I'm shocked that they actually have something like that. But so at this point, how long have I gone with it now?
Well, you got it about the middle of June.
The middle of June?
Yeah. A month and a half now.
A month and a half now.
Almost 2 months.
I cannot sleep without it.
And you sleep so much better. I mean, you've had your nights
that
you struggle a little bit. Nothing like you did before.
Right.
And I could totally tell. I mean, your eyes look totally different.
Yeah.
You look alert.
I do. I feel alert. So, because my memory was struggling. I was having a hard time grasping just normal, mundane tasks. Because my sleep was so bad.
You're on the ball now.
I'm on the ball.
So what suggestions do you have for people taking those on the road?
Oh, okay. So the suggestion I have is take an extension cord with you, because sometimes if you go into a hotel room, their outlets do not match, which I don't understand, where the bed is, where you normally plug in your phone and everything else, but they got a clock radio, they have lamps and everything else plugged into the one that you need to use.
Yep.
So make sure you take an extension cord, at least 5 foot to 10 foot at the very most. Wish you. And make sure that wherever you set it, it's not next to the air unit. Remember what happened to me?
Oh yeah, because it added moisture to yours and you were like drowning.
It was
cold.
It was super cold, and it's like my sinuses were freezing, and I couldn't sleep. Make sure you sleep on the side of the bed opposite of the air conditioner. The other piece of advice, spend the extra dough, get the humidifier, because your body, your nose, your sinuses will thank you, because it is horrible when you wake up the next day and your mouth and your nose and your sinuses and your throat are all super, super dry, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Spend the extra dough to get the humidifier. I can't emphasize that enough. The third thing is make sure you take tiny bottles of distilled water with you.
Right.
Because you're not supposed to use tap water.
Exactly, because you want it to be totally clean.
Correct.
And
it's a bit of sensitive equipment. It's a sensitive equipment.
And they said you can use tap water, but they really recommend you do not.
Really what it does is like the minerals and everything that
build up. Mm-hmm.
They build up and they're all bad, and then you're out of a machine a lot sooner than you would want it to be.
Kind of like my drink.
Yes. The cool thing about traveling is, I know for a fact, I've looked it up, but they actually have like a portable battery.
Right, and I think that is really incredible.
Whenever we're camping and stuff like that, I kind of would like that, because they also have one where it's a portable battery and you charge it all day on a solar panels.
Yeah, we totally need something like that.
And you know what? I looked up the prices and they're really not that bad.
Cool. Well, and something else that I know that you told me, and I know we'll get more in depth with this and we'll get the facts. But you said also, we don't do this a lot, so we don't think about it as much. But when you travel by plane, it is considered separate from your carry-on, but you carry it on.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal, because sometimes your luggage gets lost.
Yes.
Or damaged, exactly.
Yeah.
So you want a little bit of equipment with you no matter how far you're flying. The CPAP machines are considered medical devices covered under the American with Disabilities Act. That's what it is.
Very cool.
And they do not count as a carry-on. Anyway, that is some good travel advice. But you know what? There's a lot more that we could talk about in this area.
Right, and we'll definitely expound upon that later.
I'd like to get somebody in here that actually knows more about it.
I know. But since that's all we've got for right now in that area, we need to research it more. Why don't you just talk about other road trip advice that you have? Okay,
so four bits of advice that I think are some things I don't see people talk about that often, and it's kind of like you don't think about it until you're like hours down the road.
Right. And, I want to talk about the first one, because I think this is a big deal, because we've proven this one to be a good one.
Especially on our way to Alabama.
On our way to Colorado.
Oh, that's true too.
That was a big deal this time. We tease, ever since we were little, we teased my mother about needing to stop every 5 minutes to go to the bathroom. Well, then I married you, and you're the same way. And everybody's always teased you. And you remember what happened with our first trip to Alabama? Mm-hmm. Everybody was talking about possibly making bets on how many times you'd have to stop on the way there.
I wish people would have took the pool.
I do too. It would have been the people.
People.
It would have been so fun. But anyway, long story short, most people, if you talk to them, are you listening?
I'm sorry. Were you talking?
If you talk to them about taking a road trip and the fact that you got to drive like 10 or 12 hours or more, mm-hmm. They say, don't drink a lot. We're going to try to make it straight through in X amount of time. We're going to make as few stops as possible.
And my bladder explodes.
You know what? We've tried it that way.
Yeah.
Where we didn't stop till we had to.
Yeah.
It's not as fun. We stopped every time somebody had to go to the bathroom, we pulled over. Everybody went.
Well, and what the first point, number one, is, it's like no matter if you have to go to the bathroom at that time, if you're getting fuel, go to the bathroom.
That's right. And everybody went. A couple of times we had the girls that were like, oh, I'm fine, I don't need to go. But you know what? They also knew, mm-hmm. Don't be whining in 30 minutes if you're not going to go in there and try. And I mean, our trip actually ran really smoothly in that area, and I think it's because we all tried. Mm-hmm. We knew that was what we were going to do.
Don't waste that opportunity.
Yep. And
take advantage of it.
Our trip on the way there, it felt like it was short.
Nature calls. Guess what? You call nature this time.
Well, and something you don't think about is if you do get out to go to the bathroom a lot, you're stretching your legs.
That is true.
You're getting your circulation going.
That is true.
You need to do that anyway.
I agree.
So it's a good opportunity.
That's true. Your body needs that circulation. Sitting in a vehicle, gee, who does that?
I don't know. Weird people do that for a living.
Why would people do that? It still boggles the mind that I get paid for driving a vehicle. Okay, so...
and the answer is not to drink less. It's not. You need to have lots of water.
Right, exactly. So. And your bladder needs to get rid of that water.
If you don't have enough water, you start getting headaches.
That is true.
You don't need to be driving with terrible headache or riding along there. You'll be grumpy with your family. Just drink plenty and stop as much as needed.
Yes.
It's still fun.
Okay, so number 2, trash. Okay.
Always take a ton of plastic grocery bags with you.
Every time. You know what? They have saved our vehicle from getting overrun with trash on vacations every single time.
Definitely. And the other thing that they're useful for, if it comes down to it, is if something gets spilled or ruined on a pair of pants or on a pair of shoes, you just toss them in that and tie them up. And then you've got that, simple way of confining it.
And the other thing I like about using like Walmart bags or tiny little trash bags and stuff like that, use Walmart bags, for us, could be, Kroger's, is that what it's called? Kroger. Yeah, it could be Kroger, not Kroger's, it's Kroger.
Kroger.
Yes. But they fit perfectly. You can't put any more in there than the back can hold, but they fit perfectly in a lot of trash cans at a gas station.
That's true. You can fit them right through the slot usually.
Yeah, usually. So that's why I like them. And they have a place to tie at the top.
Yep, exactly. So, using those the handholds you tie them.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then that's one. That's number 2. Now number 3 is snacks.
We try to have lots of snacks. Usually we have more than we need, actually. Yeah. But we try to have a variety. A lot of times we get grapes.
Yeah.
Because they're really easy. And we actually separate them before we leave so that they're easy to just grab them in like you're doing M&Ms. But we will have like grapes, or we'll have cheese and sausage. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the crackers also. Mm-hmm. We've been known to get apples and plums.
Well, yeah.
Crackers, chips.
Well, and the cool thing about snacks is they serve several different purposes. For one, if you're watching your money, it helps you cut your food budget basically for your trip down by quite a bit because you're constantly feeding a snack. You're feeding your appetite. You're feeding your appetite as you go. And so it kind of keeps you from getting hangry.
Right.
Okay. And it also keeps the kids from getting hangry.
Yeah.
So, but if you're a person who's worried about their waistline, there's also sugar-free sort of things.
Right. And you want to do high-protein snacks.
And high-protein snacks. And the other thing is listen, if you're not the kind of person that likes snacking, but you know what, you have a problem staying awake while you're driving, try chewing gum.
Yes.
That helps immensely.
On our Colorado trip, the gum had 2 jobs. It was that, and then it also helped us with the popping of the ears.
That is true. That is true. So snacks. So that was number 3. Number 4 is GPS. A lot of people rely a lot, and maybe dare I say too much.
We found that out also on our Colorado trip. When Mom and Charlie split off from us, it was the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to go do something and they didn't use GPS. They were depending on us to get them around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't have a map with him.
Yeah, which, by the way, it's weird, and I know this is going to sound, but it is near impossible to find a detailed map of any city or state out there for, well, at least it was for us at that time.
Yeah, we had a terrible time finding one for Colorado while we were there.
We were at the Garden of the Gods, and we were looking for a map there. We thought we found a map because we asked the person at the counter, does this map have, the Colorado, detailed map of Colorado? Oh, yeah, it does. It didn't.
No.
Paid $10 for it.
And immediately returned it.
Yeah, we opened it up and it's like, forget this.
This is not what we asked for.
But take a map and a compass. All right? I know for a fact, and we've seen them, but they still sell, if you can find them, atlases, the big books and stuff like that. They're not too bad. I bet if you go to a bookstore, you could find one. Exactly. And the cool thing about that is you don't have to worry about GPS or global positioning satellites with a piece of paper.
I bet if you find one, it's in the historic documents.
Go to your local library, photocopy the map. And the other thing is, I found this out after I wrote this, by the way, number 4, about the GPS. Supposedly Google Maps will allow you to download certain routes.
Yes, it does. I found that the other day.
So if you know exactly where you're wanting to go, and you already planned it out, go ahead and download that, and then boom, you have your app, and you don't have to worry about data. You don't have to worry about the satellites or nothing. That's our 4 practical road trip advice. That's 4, just 4. It's easy to remember.
And I mean, I'm sure we could come up with some more, but we're talking about just some practical, simple advice.
Those are things that I look around and I see what people make sure your insurance, make sure your tires and your engine it's all checked out. Make sure your reservations are available for you. Make sure you have enough money for fuel, things like that. These things right here are just simple and practical. People don't normally think about. It's so funny is we look at the world that we live in right now, and us growing up, we had rotary phones. Right? We had paper maps.
Yeah, our first trip we took together, we took an atlas with us.
Right. And we did not have a phone with us in the car.
No. And if we would have gotten lost or broke down, we'd have to wait.
We would have to wait and hope someone would find us. Maybe we'd find a phone, go knock on a door at a house nearby if there is one.
Yeah.
Things like that. There's so many things. How did we function?
Yeah, I hope that the guy that finds you on the side of the road is not the guy with the big knife.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Hey,
that's scary.
I watch way too many crime shows now.
You need to stop that.
It's scary. Well, we hope you found that episode informative. And now I would like Steve to give you an update on his sleep apnea.
Oh, yeah, sleep apnea. So at the time that we recorded this, I had just got the machine, and I've only stayed out for maybe a couple weeks. Now, here we are. How many months has it been? 5 months since 5 months.
Yeah. Well, almost 6 months.
Almost 6 months, right? And with my job, I take it from room to room, and I can see the value in having a portable one and a stationary one just at home. Because if you do a lot of traveling like I do for my job, then I concern myself about that thing breaking on me. Because my job is a little rough, and I have to set it up and then break it down. Set it up, break it down, set it up, break it down. And I have to do that 3 and 4 times a week.
Yeah, I'm thinking wear and tear from the setting up and breaking down may be a problem. Think about it. It happens with a lot of things. It was happening with our equipment before we had this room.
And the thing is also, the positive side of having the CPAP, because before I could not get a decent night's sleep, I feel like I have to have it on me.
I know you sleep better with it on.
And I don't make the noises.
I started to say, I know I sleep better when you have it on.
Yes, exactly. So with that being said, you know what? That's the update on my sleep apnea and the CPAP. That's my feelings on having a CPAP machine. How it benefits you if you do have one that is actually portable. Now, the thing about the portable ones is they're crazy expensive, and my insurance won't cover it. So I don't know how that works for anyone else that's listening there.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is those GoFundMe? We need to do a GoFundMe page, Steve, for you to get a portable sleep apnea.
Yes. Well, yeah,
well, remember,
that's it.
We've known people to do them for weirder reasons than that, so.
No, why not? I want to retire early. I've seen that one.
Yep, we saw that one.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, you know what? This was an excellent episode. Thank you so much for listening to it. Okay. Episode 70.
Yeah, episode 70. The one about the best of Two Tenderfoot Tourists. 2018.
That's it. All right. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy.
Until next time.
Stay tender.
Dave, where are you?
I'm back here getting organized. We've been a bit overwhelmed lately.
You know, you're right. Maybe it's time we take a little break for the holidays.
You know, I was thinking that. I think for the month of December, maybe we should play our most popular episodes.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, they liked them once.
It's true. They like them. They'll like them again. Yeah, they have nothing to worry about because we'll jump right back in January.
I think it's a plan.
I think it's a definite plan.
You get right on that. I'm going to go bake you some cookies.
Ooh, Andy's mint chocolate chip?
Okay.